At the top, people are feasting. At the bottom, people are just trying to stay alive, but the scariest part isn't the hunger, it's the system itself. So where does the system break? Why do people starve when there's enough food for everyone? Today, we're breaking down the real meaning of the platform. Let's begin. This prison is unlike anything you've ever seen. The rule is simple. Food comes down on a platform, from top to bottom, 2 people per level, and when the platform stops in front of you, you have exactly 2 minutes to survive. Don't try to save anything. If even a single bite is left after the platform moves on, the room either burns with extreme heat or drops to freezing cold. You're allowed to drink water, but food only exists in those 2 minutes. And here's the most tragic part. On level 0, chefs carefully prepare the meals every morning. There's actually enough food for everyone, but it never reaches the lower levels, because the appetite of those above keeps devouring the right to live of those below. When the platform reaches the very bottom, it shoots back up at full speed like an elevator that's done with its job. And that speed is hope disappearing just as fast. No one is allowed to grab the platform and ride it up to freedom. But the system's biggest irony starts right at the beginning. Every prisoner is asked their favorite food, and that dish is added to the menu. Which means if everyone only ate what they chose, the platform would reach even the lowest level with enough food left, but human nature doesn't work that way. Fear of starvation makes people take more than they need. You're allowed to bring just one item with you. Some choose a samurai sword. Others, like our main character Goreng, bring Don Quixotes, trying to hold on to their humanity in the middle of this hell. Who brings a book to a place like this, and how long can a book survive in the same room as a knife? In this system, the only thing you should fear isn't hunger. It's where you'll wake up tomorrow, because every month the prisoners are randomly reassigned. One morning you might wake up at the top enjoying the luxury of the first bite. The next month, you could find yourself in the dark lower levels, where the platform arrives completely empty. The film divides society into 3 sharp groups: those above, those below, and those who fall. The rules are merciless. Don't talk to the people above you because they won't answer. They're above you. Don't talk to the people below you either because they're below you, and the worst part is this. Even when positions change, the mindset never does. Someone who starved to death below yesterday when placed at the top today doesn't think about those beneath them. Instead, they take their anger out on the platform. Sharing isn't seen as an option. It's seen as weakness because this system doesn't teach people to think. It forces them to consume. Quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, let's continue. It becomes clear that in this system, people are not capable of changing themselves, which is why they need someone to change them, and that someone is our main character, Goreng. In the film, those above can be read as the state and those below as society. Or, in a more fitting interpretation, those above represent God and the angels, while those below represent humanity itself. We can even see Goreng's cellmate as a reflection of the devil. The chef prepares perfect meals every day, almost like a god creating something flawless and sending it down. And there is only one thing that needs to be done: to share. Goreng, on the other hand, represents a Christ-like figure, while the devil beside him explains that he came here with a knife, a blade that could even cut through brick, and instead of becoming dull, it grew sharper the more it was used. Details matter. The devil is always in the details, and this story is built on them, because the idea that the devil grows stronger as he corrupts others is perfectly reflected in that sharpening blade. Someone else joins Goreng in his attempt to change the system, and that person is Baharat. Baharat is not an ordinary character. He can be seen as a messianic figure. He is always trying to climb upward, but in the wrong direction. To send a message to God and force the system to change, the food must reach the very bottom. The idea is simple. If everyone eats only what they need, and a single dessert can travel back up to level 0 untouched, then a message will have been delivered. When we return to the very beginning of the film, it opens with Goreng waking up and opening his eyes. That moment is the message itself. Wake up. Open your eyes. See the people around you. The possibility that the system is flawed begins the moment Goreng opens his eyes. Without that awareness, nothing can ever change. So, what is the flaw in the system that we are meant to see? The film ultimately tells us that humans can be more cruel, more selfish than the devil itself. Here's why. One morning, Goreng and his cellmate wake up on level 171. Goreng wakes up tied to the bed. His cellmate, more experienced, knows that no food will reach that level, so he restrains him. He explains that he's older, that he wouldn't survive a full month on just water, and that this is the only way they can both stay alive. But when hunger takes over, everything spirals out of control. At that moment, the woman searching for her child comes down to the lower levels and saves Goreng. Yet, Goreng shows no mercy to his cellmate, and here's the real question. They were already on the edge, ready to lose control and turn on each other. If the cellmate promised he wouldn't hurt Goreng, but Goreng still chose to hurt him, who is really right here? And who is truly more cruel? When we reach the final stage, Goreng and Bahara plan to send a single dessert, panna cotta, all the way to the bottom and then back up untouched. As they descend, the scenes we witness are both disturbing and powerful. Goreng calculates the platform speed and assumes there are only 250 levels, but the platform keeps going, all the way down to level 333, and that's where they see the real flaw in the system. A child, a 14-year-old. They were told no one under 16 was supposed to be there. No one had seen this child, no one had noticed, and that was the point. The system was designed to ignore them. Reaching that child was the real message. To rise, they first had to go all the way down. Goreng, choosing to stay behind at the very bottom instead of going back up, symbolizes that his role as a savior is complete, and that the price for humanity's sins has been paid. Just like in Dante's Divine Comedy, to escape hell you must first reach its deepest center. The film leaves several questions unanswered. For example, how can a small child survive alone on level 333? How does the platform move at such incredible speed without being attached to any cables? In one scene, a diploma is mentioned. Goreng says he could receive it, but the older man could not. Why? And did Goreng and Bahara actually succeed in their mission? When we look at these one by one, a clearer picture forms. The woman searching for her child has actually been going all the way down to the lowest levels every day, risking her life to feed the child and keep them alive. The platform, moving without cables, is a metaphor. Think of it as watching an episode of Black Mirror. When we consider the structure of the prison, the film tells us that each level is 6 meters high. If there are 333 levels, and that number is no coincidence, the structure would be nearly 2 kilometers tall. That's an almost impossible feat to build vertically. The diploma represents the reward for those who pass the test, but the devil has no right to it, because he failed the test from the very beginning. And as for the goal, yes, it was achieved. The purpose of this entire system is to teach humanity a lesson through an extremely radical method. It's clear that the system has survived for years because of human selfishness, with people hurting each other over and over again. But the film also tells us there is still hope for humanity. Next week we'll be analyzing the platform 2, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And I'm curious what you think about the film. Share your thoughts in the comments.